Hey, what's going on guys? Crow-sama here. So today I just want to showcase a painted build I did in December. I think it was about last week I finished it, last weekend. So yeah, I actually decided to go into the backlog of build kits I've had, and I was kind of just sifting around through them, and I found this guy. And since I really wanted to start painting again, but I really don't want to like just tackle a master grade right out of the box, because it's been about a year since I painted. So I was like, let me just get an easy high grade. I did actually paint the EG La Gundam first, but you know, I was like, I still want to keep painting. So I decided to grab this high grade, and I just wanted to paint it in pretty much like the standard colors. So yeah, it's not anything crazy. It's not a true custom in any kind of way. I just kind of maybe darkened the black. I did a little bit of shading. The gray is pretty much the same tone. I didn't decide to change that. And then yeah, just decided to enhance some areas. Now for paints, I did use the Gaia Notes Surfacer Black. Pretty much my favorite type of surfacer. Yeah, it's amazing. I use this for all the black parts. All the gray parts is actually just Mr. Hobby Surfacer Gray. So yeah, nothing really too different with that. I think most people probably use Mr. Hobby Surfacer. But for the black specifically, I decided to use the Surfacer Evo because it's just kind of like, Gaia Notes is my favorite brand of paint. So I just wanted to just, pretty much use that. And for the black paint, I decided to go with, once again, Gaia Notes, but this time a piano black. I bought this, I think, at the tail end of 2023. I don't remember where I bought it from, but yeah, I bought this piano black color because it looks really cool. I was like, this is like a true black. It looks really, really good. So I think the end result, the black on the Deathscythe looks phenomenal. I think what I need to do next time is maybe add a little bit extra thinner. It still had a smooth surface, but I think maybe a little bit of extra thinner would probably, I don't know, maybe it'll look better. But I think it looks fine now. I'm just kind of like thinking back of when I was painting it. I was like, maybe a little extra thinner would do the trick. So yeah, I just kind of wrote some notes, and next time if I do decide to use piano black for another kit, I'll know to add a couple extra like milliliters of thinner. And I technically did shade the black with a Chryson purple. Yeah, it didn't come out that well. I guess the purple I use is just way too dark. So maybe in some areas you possibly can see it. But I think maybe I just kind of did a shit job when trying to do the shading. This is actually pre-shading, so it was not post-shading, it's pre-shading. And I think maybe I just did not do a great job on the black, vice how I did with like the white. For the gray as well, I think I used purple, or I might have used black. I can't remember, because I definitely used a different color for the shading on the gray parts, and also for the white, but we'll get to that. Now for the orange yellow, I did not do any shading with this. I just pretty much painted it as is. I felt like there was really no shading needed for it, so I did use the Mr. Color orange yellow. I'm not a big fan of just straight yellow. It's usually a little bit too intense, to be honest. So yeah, I decided to use the orange yellow. I think it just blended it way better with the black and the grays. If it was yellow, it would have been way too bright. I don't think it would look that great, and the contrast would have been a little bit off, because the white is pretty much like one of the brightest parts, minus like the thruster effects and the beam scythe effect. But yeah, I wanted the white to stay the brightest part of this kit. Now for the white, I did use this GSI Lavender. It's a flat primary, and it's a white color that has a bit of like a purple hue to it. I don't know if you could really see it. Like, I can see it if I just stare at the white. Like if I just really intensely stare at that white, I see purple. But I think for a lot of people, they're saying like it just looks like straight white, which is fair. I think maybe on camera and our pictures, it doesn't really like translate that well. But I don't know, when I'm in person and I'm looking at this, it just looks like there's a purple hue to it. So could be me, but I did shade it, so you should be able to see the shading on this. I think I just did a gray shading. I definitely didn't do black, because I think black on white is way too intense of a shade, unless that's what you're going for. But for me, I think I went with a very light gray. I don't even remember what paint. I already picked up all my paints, and I completely forgot to write down what shader I used for the white. So yeah, I basically just used, I remember doing a light gray. I just don't remember exactly what brand and what name of that gray it was. But I'm pretty sure you could just use Mr. Color Light Gray. That's an actual color. You could use that, and to me that works perfectly fine when you're doing shading. Now for the inner frame, this is something I messed up on, in my opinion. I used metal black. I should not have done that. I should have used either steel or light gunmetal. I think I never used metal black before in my entire life, so I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And usually when I try out new colors, I don't do testing. I just kind of go into it, and it's like if it's a mistake, it's a mistake. I'll live with it. And this is one of those events where it was a mistake. I should not have used the metal black because it blends in way too much with the armor. You can still, like, to me, I can still see, like, yeah, that is inner frame. It is not the same exact color. It's a dark color that blends in too much with the armor. So I should have used something lighter, like a light gunmetal, or just gunmetal, or metal. Like those three would have been really good for the inner frame, in my opinion. But I didn't want to go with the standard gray that a lot of these kits have, because I don't know, to me gray looks weird as an inner frame. I'm like, this is a machine. So to me, that should be gunmetal. Like, I don't know. That's my take on it. Let me know in the comments what your take on coloring of the inner frame should be. Now for like the backpack and the skirts and everything, I actually just used Lin Gray. It's Marizuru Arsenal. It's a lacquer base. So, and something that you are definitely seeing is that there's a lot of mixture of acrylic and lacquer. Probably some people are more purists when it comes to like using only lacquer and probably like enamel on the top, so that way you can easily clean it. Or, you know, some people using lacquer as a base, using acrylic on top, or just using only lacquer, only acrylic for a kit. Me, I will blend it however I deem necessary. So if I want to use acrylic at the bottom, and then I want to use lacquer on the top, all I need to do is just wait for the cure to happen, and I can do that. And a lot of times I will do a layer of like an acrylic like coating, like a clear coat, just that way there's like an in between, between the paint and then the new paint that's going to go later on top. So that's generally like my views. It's like you can mix it. It's fine. The problem is when it's not cured and you're trying to like do brush on paint. Like if I dip my brush into lacquer paint for whatever reason, I don't know why you're hand brushing with lacquer. It's doable, but I think acrylic's easier to handle. But let's say you try to brush with lacquer on top of acrylics, like spray painted or airbrushed. That could cause a problem if it's not cured properly. It might like eat through it. But look, you see the kit right here. There's no problems. The only time you see any kind of like issues with the paint is probably because I moved the kit during posing and the paint kind of brushed up. That's mostly going to be in like the skirting area. That's like where all the big contact points is happening, is definitely in the skirt area. So unfortunate, but yeah, I mean, you could paint however you want. Now for the thruster effects, I just used a white. You know, it was I think it was just basic Mr. Hobby white, and then I use a Chryson sky blue. It's been one of my go-to colors for thruster effects, and I did use a clear blue at the very, very tip, but I have no idea. I think I threw it away because I think I already used up all my clear blue. I had so little clear blue left that it wasn't worth keeping because it was going to just dry out in the bottle. So I don't know where that is, but I used Mr. Hobby Clear Blue. And for the beam scythe, I definitely made a lot of mistakes for the beam scythe. I think I should have sanded it a little bit more because the paint was not really adhering to the part that well. So I probably should have painted or sanded it down a little bit more before painting. But once again, used Mr. Hobby white for that base, and I messed up. I shouldn't have made the white just centralized at the base. I should have ran a little line kind of closer to the middle of white. I think in my mind it would have been a little bit better. And if you see a lot of photos of the Deathscythe and like artwork, you'll see that the white is kind of like a strip in the middle, and it's not just like at the base. So that was me messing up. I should have done some. I should have looked at reference photos first before doing it, but it still looks good. And then of course I used a fluorescent green, a Mr. Color fluorescent green, and then a clear green at the very tip. So it looks good. I mean, this is a learning process constantly. It's just me trying to figure out like best color combinations for effect parts and exactly how do you blend it, how does it fade together and all that. So learning process, but I think it came out pretty good. And of course there was just some detailed painting, so I did something like silver for the Vulcans on the chest. I did I think a regular red for the waist, and yeah, just some black enamel for all like the little vents and detail stuff. That was just all enamel paint, so that way I can easily clean up. Eyes were fluorescent green, and yeah, I just did Tamiya enamel like panel lining. I did that for any panels that need to get filled in. And lastly, what else is there? There's not a whole lot I really did to this kit. I mean, I got some white decals that were in my little backlog of decals. I usually use like different types of brands, so maybe it doesn't like look as coherent. To me it looks fine. I like the little circular caution decals. I think that looks pretty cool. But yeah, I just did a combination of the red, gray, and white decals. But I don't like to do an abundant amount of decals, to be honest. I'm not like a Katoki kind of guy. So I'm going to use a moderate amount of decals. Just that way I can enhance the look of it and not like make it a race car type of mobile suit. But yeah, that's it. So thank you for listening to me just talk about this painted build. I was going to do one on the La Gundam, but I feel like that just really wasn't that great of a painted build because that was like my first painted build in a year. So I was still like just kind of like testing out, and I bought a new airbrush, so I was testing out that new airbrush as well. And I'm in a new area. It's like I wanted to get familiar, so I kind of just like let myself make mistakes when it came to the La Gundam. This one I did actually put a lot of effort in, and I think it came out really good. So I'm hoping that the next Gundam, which is going to be the Unicorn Phoenix high grade type RC, that is getting painted now, and I'm really hoping, because I'm doing a metallic coating kind of color, I'm hoping it's going to come out really good. I got cross fingers, but yeah, I think this is going to be fine. It looks good. It's a matte finish, and I'm more in the matte finish type of category of building. I don't really like gloss coats, to be honest, but when it comes to metallic things, yeah, I'll go ahead and do a gloss coat. So thank you all for watching, guys. You are amazing. Let me know in the comment section below. Actually, let me know what kit would you like to see me paint and build, or build and paint this year, or for 2025. Yeah, maybe if it's a kit that I have in the backlog, I'll try to find a month that I can go ahead and target it. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below. And you know what? Let's make it even more fun. Name a wing kit you would like to see me paint and build. That's actually because wing is getting its 30th anniversary this year. So yeah, I think let me know in the comment section below what wing kit you would like to see painted on this channel. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.